I'm saving people's life. I structure a plan to help you build out your credit report.
Right.
Most people that are spending money on this service don't have it.
You haven't fixed your habits yet. You have bad habits. Your bad habits is what got you into the bad credit, and you haven't fixed those habits. So you got us fixing your credit, but you haven't fixed your habits.
Welcome to Mind Your Money. Today, we're joined by an expert to talk about credit repair, funding, and raising capital the smart way. Fresh insights, practical steps, and the knowledge to take your finances further. Let's jump in.
Welcome to another episode of Mind Your Money. This is where we break down everything you need to know about how to raise capital and ultimately become a mogul. Today's episode, I'm going to interview a really good friend of mine, someone that over the years who has morphed into becoming such an amazing lady. She does credit repair, credit building, funding, capital raising. She's done trucking. She has managed a total serial entrepreneur. This lady is really going to the next level. Definitely be on the lookout. This is the next mogul, Chloe Salagan, aka High-End Cloe. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me. He's being modest. You literally are the best mentor ever.
Thank you.
Literally, let's just roll into this really quick. The best intro. Let me give you your flowers. When I had nobody to turn to, I had spent my last dollar trying to learn the tricks and the trades of credit repair, and somebody literally just took advantage of me. And I was just like, instead of being the person I'm gonna quit doing this, I was like, this is something that I'm determined to figure this out now. So I called you. I was like, hey, I don't have any money for you. Because I just spent $1,500 at the time. That's a lot for a single mom. And I just was like, I couldn't. Actually, it was $2,700. And I called you and you were like, you know what? I am going to sit down with you and teach you everything you know. I don't do credit anymore. That's what you were saying. I'm under bigger and better things. You're a little late, but I'll show you. I literally had to unlearn everything that I had. And I think that's what made me be teachable. Is I was like, you know what? He knows what he's talking about. And then I was able to turn everything you taught me into
business.
So I appreciate you for that. Just want you to know.
There we go. Yeah, and speaking of the business, you ended up founding a company or co-founding a company called Credit Sweepers. Talk to us about that, because your journey into this has been a unique one. And now that you have the brand and the name, talk to us about the conception of Credit Sweepers.
The Credit Sweepers, like you said, I'm the co-founder of it. I have a business partner with the company, and you've worked with him, Jamar. He has a tax company, but he wanted to add additional businesses to it, but he really couldn't handle both, so I took on that. And
so this is like the subsidiary or like a separate division of the ultimate parent company.
Yes, exactly. That's really what happened. I was already doing credit. I had other business partners. I won't say everything's a learning lesson. Let me not talk bad about anybody. Everything's a learning lesson.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm always open to going through the motions with people, because eventually you'll find the right person, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're only as good as your team. And you're only as good as your systems. Without a system, you don't have a business. You just have something where you're robbing people for their money.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, next question I have is, what personal experiences really shaped your understanding of financial literacy? Because at the time that I met you, you were heavy in truck. I mean, and listen, your trucking IQ is just absolutely through the roof. The average person would be like, why'd you stop doing dispatch and trucking? You literally were like, I think you had like 20 trucks or something like that under you at the time. It was super crazy. You got into this financial literacy space, and again, just another level up where you started to take off. What was the actual experience? What was happening with you at that time that forced the transition?
Good question. So really, as I was working, most of the people that I was working with were coming from a background of either Spanish or African American. So when I was dealing with them, their mindset, it's like you're an owner operator, but you're thinking like a worker. So are you really...
They're not thinking like an entrepreneur.
You're not thinking like an entrepreneur, because really, it's like when you walk into an industry where in hindsight, you're having to go on the load board, even as an entrepreneur, and find loads, It's not like you're just creating, you have to find the money. You know what I mean? You're not creating a job unless they're opening up a warehouse and they're becoming the entrepreneur by doing the 3PL, housing the items that are being delivered. Nobody was doing this. So as I'm in trucking, I'm like, the people that I'm dealing with are really they're blocked. They get to where they're going, but then they're blocked. So I'm like, this is not leading to where I see myself going. And I'll easily separate myself from something that's holding me back. But I was able to be a problem solver for these people by I started off with business credit. That's what I started off doing. I started off building people's paydex score because obviously they already have an LLC,
so hypothetically,
EIN.
you work with them because you want to help them get a truck or get 2 more trucks.
Exactly.
3 more trucks.
Or even get fuel cards or where they're not using their real cash or help them get funding. I ended up focusing my niche was the trucking industry until I started to feel that I was babysitting in a sense.
Got it.
And for me, I just decided I can offer this same thing to everybody. Why am I staying in this lane? It was great for the moment.
Yeah.
But I will say that you have to unlearn what you know to get to where you're going. So if I'm working with owner operators, they're like, oh, that's not what I know. That's not what they told me. Then I can't help you. And I was dealing with a lot of roadblocks there, getting frustrated because they're not listening. You don't know what I know. You are only good at what you're good at. And building a team, people have to know their position.
They have to know their positions.
And when people work, these people spend their whole lives and they're lonely on the road. So this is their baby. The way they treat their business is like, very, 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 it means more to them than, for instance, I have several businesses, but I don't treat them, I would never look at it the same as like an entrepreneur because it's the different sacrifices that they take to get their business. They're harder to work with. No, I don't want to say that.
What I say, there's a difference between being self-employed and being an entrepreneur. Self-employed people I need to do everything myself mentality. And it seems like that's the kind of people that you were working with in a lot of cases.
Exactly.
And listen, owner-operator, the name by itself says I'm self-employed.
Yes.
The owner-operator becomes a full-blown trucking company or a logistics business when they become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And that's the difference in the mentality.
Yes, the amount of people that could benefit from the things that we both offer in that industry is limitless. And I wish that there was more people that were aware of how you can really save your businesses because a lot of their businesses are crashing. But if they handled their finances right and leveraged OPM, other people's money, then they wouldn't be spending the money that they got every Friday or from their loads every week on the investments of the company.
So, which is a great segue actually to my next question, because I'd like to know more about the services High-End Cloe and the Credit Sweepers actually offer. I know credit services in general to be credit repair, but can you be a little bit more specific about what you guys do, what you guys offer?
First of all, let's be very clear. I'm saving people's lives. Okay.
Sure.
You're going from I'm not getting approved for anything to hearing yes.
Life changing, sure.
So I don't call my business is a for you. Like I make sure that I identify what are your goals?
That's right.
Are you trying to buy a car? Are you trying to buy a house? Are you trying to get funding for a business? These are 3 different clients. So when I identify that, I structure a plan to help you build out your credit report. Because somebody who's trying to get funding doesn't need the same credit report as somebody trying to get a car. That's the number one thing is I make everybody feel special. I'm going off the topic, but I think that's concerning for me because as I grow, people are going to have less of that from me. So in addition, it's credit building, but credit building for that particular client, what their goal is. After that, actually going with my connections, whether if it's underwriters or people that we know getting funding. And then after that, I start their businesses. If they don't have a business started, I start your business formation. Yes. And building them up so that they're a completely different person when they open their portfolio. So I feel like credit, it's not like my purpose, right? My purpose is to get you where you want to be in life because I was once not where I wanted to be in life.
So, that's a real dope spiritual tone too, because you're at service. And, I'm a God-fearing man myself, and I just always have this full faith and belief that you need to be at service at all times. And I think that's where the satisfaction, the joy, and actually even the reward of it all really comes from. And it seems like you totally adopted that. All right, no.
Wait. You're right. I was in the hair salon the other day and my hairstylist, I was telling her like, I swear I have to deal with so much with these people. She goes, but you deal with it, so you must like it. That's a fact. And I had to think I think I do like this. I like helping y'all.
So let's dive a little bit more into the credit repair aspect. Of course, we're going to give you guys a little bit of sauce. I mean, just a little bit, right?
No gatekeeping.
No gatekeeping. No. I want to discuss some of the strategies because there's a little bit of everything that's out there. And I want our show to actually clear up the air of what are some of the most effective methods, what are some of the methods you actually use for some of your clients, and then we'll clear up what is specific. So consumer law based disputes, Metro 2, traditional dispute methods like sending out mail, do you use the CFPB, and different things like that. Now, I don't personally utilize Metro 2 myself. Metro 2 is a compliance dispute method. It's essentially based off of the Metro 2 compliance measures that are connected with the credit bureaus. So you go through a company called eOscar. eOscar is the portal that Metro 2 compliance and everything goes through. So what they're doing is they're structuring these letters to identify things that are not in compliance with that, yet at the same time, that doesn't necessarily match up with law. So consumer laws is more so my method. But can you tell us a little bit about yours?
Yeah. So I actually do a mixture of everything. But when I initially get my clients, this is so important because if my clients could do this on their own, then it would be a lot faster process. But updating your address helps my dispute process go crazy. So I always ask clients to give me an address that's not connected to any of their debt. By me removing any old address, and let's just say their name, like my name is Chloe Elise Salagan, if I remove the middle name and I just keep the first and last name. All these basic things allow your points to increase up to 60 to 80 points.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit more as to why the name, address match when it comes to the actual accounts, why that's so effective?
So if we're trying to dispute the fact that this is inaccurate or why is this on my credit report, this helps them not be able to prove anything if your credit report doesn't consist with what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
You can't say that that's not me. My name is Chloe Salagan. That's how I say my name. I don't put my middle name. I didn't do that. That address that you're saying that I'm attached to isn't even on my credit report because I updated it. So now the rebuttal it's solidified. You can't tell me that I did that.
That's a bar. So, I've often spoke to clients about how much control that they have over their credit report. And what you just broke down was that control. So whatever's actually on your consumer report or whatever you allow to be there, you can mix and match information basically however you see fit. That was an absolute bar.
And clients can call in. They can call in and update. It might take them a few hours because of the wait, but it's worth it. And I really feel like if you help the people that are working on getting your report clean by doing that, you literally will speed up the process by an entire 30 to 60 days.
Absolutely. In fact, Chloe, I don't know if you recall, we actually did an ebook. It's called a personal info suite.
Of course I remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get it in the link.
We'll make sure you guys got access to that.
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of talk about, especially about Trump and how he's been disseminating all of these different departments or whatever the case may be. But it affected us in the industry because they said that he shut down the CFPB. Now, of course, we come to realize that it's not. I mean, anyone who understands actual law, you realize that Congress is the one who enacts a particular law, and a president can't shut it down or, whatever. They can modify it, but they can't shut it down. So do you utilize the CFPB in your dispute processes?
Yes, CFP, FTC.
Okay.
I utilize both of those. Those are you can really use CFPB alone and still see results without sending out standard disputes. But as far as my system, I do them all. So I send out the mail. I print and send out letters because I always like to say never change or remove yourself from an old school method. Okay. So that's why a lot of people still using business cards.
That's a fact.
So to me, the standard dispute process is the business card strategy. Yeah. Because you always need it and let's be prepared because that's what they're used to seeing. But you can have results just using CFPB, so I feel like some people they just hear like a new trend of dispute process going around and then they forget that you still need to why are y'all leaving out this part? Because then they could rebuttal because they didn't get it in the mail.
That's a fact.
And I also use a notary. So,
Nice.
I have an in-house notary. So when I do the letters, I get it. I have permission from my clients to get the documents notarized.
Okay.
So now this is confirmed that because what they can say is, I don't know if this is you sending in this dispute, right?
They
Especially since everybody's in credit repair
tactics in the world for sure. If you guys have ever seen letters come back where they're saying they're trying to confirm it's you. The way you get around that is
a notary.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I would say those are some hacks that people can do. If people want to be, DIYers, call in and dispute your personal information, which is your old address, your name, your job, and also create your CFPB login and follow the steps. It's not rocket science, but if you're lazy, you can use me. But if you want to be a DIYer, do it yourself. And then on top of that, if you're going to send out your letters, go find your local notary and get it stamped and send it in.
Or go to the bank, and the banks do it for free.
Yeah, they do that too.
All right, so clients and dealing with clients, especially new people you do not know, total strangers, there's always skepticism with this credit repair stuff. There's always somebody that's just like, how do I know? You know what I'm saying? How do you deal with that?
Oh, well, you know what? I don't deal with that because if you don't want to hire me for a service, then don't hire me. So I don't deal with that. But what I do have results in is just being good at what I do. And I really haven't dealt with that as much because my clients are coming from referrals from people who have had a success story with me.
So is the majority of your clients coming from referrals? Okay,
absolutely.
Got it.
One day I had 100 referrals come in, 100 leads come in off of one client,
Amazing. Okay. So can you tell us about particular success stories about any of your clients? Because I know when we first started doing this stuff, we'd be happy something came off in 90 days. I have seen you do something in 7.
Yeah.
Tell me about any clients, like let's say if anybody, they were looking to get a car, they was getting a mortgage or whatever the case would be. I mean, you don't have to drop their names if you don't want to.
I have a lot of success stories, but I will tell you, I had this one client, she called me, she was praising me. She was like, Chloe, I've been waiting for years. I didn't pay 3 people to do this. Wow. And nobody can even get this repossession off. She goes, you got this off in 30 days. Repos are hard. That was I was like, I did? Let me go check your credit report.
Wait a second.
I would say, I was like, dang, I'm getting good at this. And I have another client who was like recently divorced, and she said she was just so proud to be involved and work with me. We're actually colleagues now because she refers me clients. She sells life insurance, but she was like, Chloe, you literally gave me the boost that I needed. Like, I have my new car. I feel good. It feels so good to be connected to you. And that's what I'm saying. People have to realize that when most people that are spending money on this service don't have it. Yeah. So when they spend it, treat them right. Because these are your everyday people. And like I say, I change credit scores for everyday people. So I treat those people like I know you worked hard for that $900 or $999. But I really value the clients that I have as humans because, again, look how I started and what I went through with somebody taking advantage of me. And I had so much hope in the person.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to do that for people.
And let me ask you this also. How important is it for the client to be involved in the credit repair process? We go through our normal onboarding, we put things in certain positions, whatever the case may be. But do you often get clients that they feel like they can just kick their feet up and everything is all good and you got it? Or how involved do you like your clients to be with you?
I don't need them involved. I like the ones that kick their feet up and don't ask me questions every day. I'm not gonna lie, because it's the same as yesterday. I will let you know. But I will say in the beginning, if clients, if they call in, because I don't have time to call in, I will change your personal information and everything via my strategies, which is more of an online dispute or sending out the mail. But calling in for over thousands of clients, it's not going to happen. But if you would like to do that, then please help me. But I will tell you, sending me pictures of the mail that comes in is helpful. Uploading their profiles with the mail that's coming in, so that way I know the rebuttal that's being sent. And being patient. And and this is so important for the clients that are coming in with their husband or their significant other. Please don't compare the process to anybody.
There's no rhyme or
what is the thief of joy is comparison to others. But because it's just every report is different, and it's just like that. Like, it doesn't mean I'm not doing my job or anybody who does this. It just means that it just didn't work for you. So I'll put another dispute in. But I feel like a lot of people compare themselves like, oh, I know somebody who did that. That's great. It didn't happen for you like that. But I'm going to make sure I get it off.
That's right.
So I think mindset throughout the process is what the best thing any client can do is just be positive, because the universe is real. If you're out here, I paid her to do it, but I don't know if she's really going to do it, it's not going to work out for you because you're thinking negative about something that I'm doing.
law of attraction is real.
Exactly.
It is so real. So the most common things that you see negative on a credit report that you commonly have to attack, what are those?
Late payments, for sure.
Payments. Got it.
Yeah, and I think that clients don't realize that one late payment can decrease your credit score from 60 to 100 points, which is huge. And so while somebody is fixing your credit report, it's so important to keep up with your payments.
Maintain your account.
Because why did you do all this work?
Right.
You have to change
Sure.
your patterns of your life while you're investing into yourself.
Yeah.
Or why did you even get your credit
Fixed in the first place? You know, I've come across clients where the frustration is that, at least that we have, as anybody that's actually working on it or trying to help these clients, is you haven't fixed your habits yet. You have bad habits. Your bad habits is what got you into the bad credit, and you haven't fixed those habits. So you got us fixing your credit, but you haven't fixed your habits. I have this thing about collections. I don't necessarily condone the idea of my clients paying for a collection. And that's really because your obligations out there are really about whatever you contractually agree to. So with a collection now, and I want to know what your thing is about when it comes to your clients working. Do you suggest that they pay or settle the balance?
I'm no pay your debt back closing. Okay? I tell my clients, don't pay that.
Okay.
And they're like, don't pay that. I'm like, don't pay that, girl. Do not pay that, because at the end of the day, they already got their money for your debt.
Ooh.
The person that you had the debt with sold your debt to a creditor, and they were already paid off. So you technically don't owe the debt that they're claiming that you owe, but because people don't know their rights, they paid the debt that was already paid. And I'm removing it anyways, baby. Don't pay that debt.
Do not
pay the debt.
Okay? You hear me?
Speaking of debt, I hate to intrude, but I just came off of a whole lick that I call a legal lick.
Talk to us.
And so my thing is, I had a lot of money owed with my financial aid because your girl been to college. But you can literally start a nonprofit, which is free.
Okay.
You can start a nonprofit.
Okay.
And then with that nonprofit, you can set up payment plans. You can pay up to 3. That was for me.
Okay.
I paid up to 3 payments, and then I did all the documents and sent in all the paperwork needed with my nonprofit. Okay. And now I am student loan debt free.
Oh, hold up. So we're getting into student loan debt discharge.
Yes. Create a nonprofit. Set up a payment plan. With your student loans. Pay up to however many they tell you. It might be different when you call in, so don't. But for me, I only had to pay 3 payments.
3 simple payments.
3 simple payments. Turn in your paperwork showing that you have created and you either work for a nonprofit or you have your own nonprofit, and they will discharge your entire debt. Yeah. That
I don't know if we should be giving that out on the show. Like, that's crazy.
Literally, I dove into this right before tax season because they weren't coming for me again. So if anybody has tax issues and they take your money, go ahead and start a nonprofit. Set up a payment plan.
Yeah.
And turn in the necessary paperwork. But I also offer this, and I'll do it all for you. And the link is right here.
Okay. If y'all ain't liked or commented by now, I don't know what y'all doing.
Exactly. Listen. Because at the end of the day, it's not about spending your whole life paying back your debt. It's about spending the necessary time figuring out how to avoid the debt.
It's use this entity to work on this such and such. She's schooling me now. Like, she took it to the next level.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I need to talk a little bit about the business of credit, running the company, making money doing credit repair. This is for my aspiring people or the people that are already in the game right now that are doing their thing. The team, or do you run this on a solo? How do you build out the framework of credit sweepers?
First, like I said, no business is a business without a system. So I had to identify my system. Then I identified the roles. Then I hired. So
what are some of the roles that you hired for?
Onboarding.
Onboarding.
Dispute. Social media management. Email marketing. Ad manager. I don't do none of this. But I only pay about $300 a month to each person who does do it.
So
overseas.
you outsourcing overseas?
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah. And so my entire job with my business is to solely find the clients, close the clients, and then they're managed by everybody who has that particular role. And now don't get it twisted. I trained everybody that I work with the knowledge that I had gained. They have a team who does exactly what you delegate the work.
It goes back to what we were talking about, the difference between self-employed and being an entrepreneur. And you're in the team building mindset.
Exactly.
And you've assembled different people in your team. So hypothetically, with your team, if you got an influx of 1,000 clients, could you handle it?
I have over 1,000 clients. Of course I can handle it. I mean, I want more than that. So the thing is that I can handle anything because my system is in place. When you have a system that's in place, you can handle 5 clients, but you can handle 1 million. If your system is in place, you're not going to deal with any problem. Problems come. But if a system is in place, now at this point, people are just following the protocol.
Sure. So that's big because the old clunker company, Lexington Law. I got to talk about them because Lexington Law is like the one company that everybody.
The only thing Lexington Law did right was not market it. Like my business, people can say, "Oh, that's Chloe's business," right? So that's the problem because if Susie hypothetically don't like Chloe, Susie is not gonna invest into Chloe's business.
Sure.
But Susie, same client, will invest into Lexington Law because Lexington Law doesn't have a face to it. So no face branding is great, but it's easy. It's a scam. Because how can you find, it's like this. Let's just say I got my makeup done today, right? If I told her, because she wanted to form a payment that I did not have. I don't have Cash App. But anyways, I said, I'm going to have to figure out how somebody can send you that money. But she said, I know where you live. Sure. So therefore, what I'm saying is it's a trusted brand. Lexington Law is not a trusted brand. They are making you feel trusted because they are providing you with things that anybody could do within marketing. But in reality, they're just taking your money with the profiles in the dust.
I've had my experience with Lexington Law, and I'm sure plenty of other people have, even way before we even got into this credit
Super
space.
excited when I started working with Lexington Law. I was like,
No,
what?
for sure.
This is going to be life-changing.
I come to find out all they did was literally just create some basic template letter and mail.
Yeah, which is all being rebutted.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Like, what the hell is this?
So we're saying you have layers of things that are far more superior than someone like a Lexington Law.
Lexington Law is in my rear view. They should be sued. Because I was a client of Lexington Law. And I think there's a lot of credit companies.
In fact, I think
most credit companies that say they'll do stuff like do it for you, which they promote the Metro 2 sauce, Metro, all that. It's bullshit. It's bullshit and it's bullshit. And I'm trying to tell you, man, these Instagram cappers, it's crazy. And then social media has, now everybody wants to do credit. Just because you're somebody that fixed your credit doesn't mean that you can manage and do that for thousands of people. Because what you did is you put in the work and you did that. But it's a whole entire different system when you're doing it for somebody that's not you. Because you can't call in like you did for yourself.
Sure.
Because that's fraud, right? I'm just saying. The client has to do that. The person would have had to do that. So there's a lot of things that, and I feel like, because I almost was like, you know what? This is getting oversaturated. And I was like, I'm not about to let them take me out my spot.
And then I remember we had this conversation about penetrating the market and then making room for yourself in the marketplace.
So a lot of people do this. You'll be great. Just get the Rolls Royce. Just get the high rise. Just show the designer things and the clients will come. But let me tell you, most of them people have a low credit score. Now, that is the marketing to get people into wanting to get their credit done. They're like, oh, they have these things. They can do this. But if you have to show people what you have to gain them as a client, because I feel like I struggle with that because I don't like that look. Like, I don't want to be like, look at my back. Look at my diamonds. Look at this. Like, I'm over that because I'm so much more than that. And I feel like people hold me to this stigma. So why would I drench myself in what I work so hard to remove myself from just to gain clients?
So one thing that I noticed about you, especially recently, like you've been posting a lot of client results.
Exactly. Every day.
You've been comments clients have said, things, people have praised you for. How do you maximize social media? Because you said earlier that you get clients mostly off referral, but do you utilize social media to reinforce what you're already doing?
Of course, social media is a free platform
Sure.
that people come to every day. People that come to social media every day is your everyday people who are using their idle time in really a negative way, if you think about it. But if I'm going to be a part of it, come and look at my page. That's
right.
fine. But what I did have to identify, and I think a lot of people struggle with this when it comes to social media, is that this is draining.
Yeah.
This is draining, and and I want to be present in my life. I have 2 kids. I'm very involved. So for me, I was like, is me working on doing these certain things that social media says I have to do worth my time? And no, it wasn't. So you know what I did? I put more effort in my already clients. So instead of me focusing on people who don't want to believe in me, I focus on the clients that do believe in me, and I put money in their pockets. So that's for anybody who is my client, who I haven't talked to, and you've seen results. You send me a client, you get $50.
Those clients, right? And again, I basically know the answer to this, but credit education, testimonials, storytelling
is the key, because people who really who are ready to spend, they really think that's bullshit. Posting your car and posting your luxury life. It's really no etiquette in it. But I will say the real clients want to see what you've done for people, and the real ones who are ready to pay want to hear it from their cousin.
The true most successful content is actually
referral
showing the results.
But that's my dad's been in business since I was a kid. And I used to see people coming in and out of our house that were regular people that you would think that people would look down upon on social media, right? But these people have millions of dollars. So my thing is that my daddy always taught me, go back to the old school way, do good business, do right by people, and you will see a whole different thing happen in your life. What I had to do is I had to listen. And I took my dad's strategy. I went back to exactly what he said, because I look up to him. And I was like, dang, I want more clients. He goes, Chloe, you need to show more effort in how you feel and how you're proud of your clients, and dive into the people who are already supporting you. So when I would send them emails or call them and tell you, thank you for sending your cousin, your brother, your auntie, your mama. Thank you for doing that. Because I want to tell you the truth. I really didn't even acknowledge the fact that you did that. But here's some bread for sending them to me, because money talks. And also what is super important is that don't worry about the people that aren't clapping for you. Focus on the people that are clapping for you. Focus on your email list. Focus on the people that took the time out to type in their email, their phone number, and don't annoy them and bother them, but definitely send out things to remind them.
That's right.
But at the same time, understand that the proof is in the pudding, and those people who don't want to take the risk just aren't meant to be great.
Listen, speaking of which though, because you know, you're full of gems and you're full of wisdom, clearly as we see, do you offer any additional services outside of just performing the credit repair?
Yeah.
For example, can I get High-End Cloe on the phone for a consultation?
I mean, I do that for free. You know why I do that for free? I do that for free because I feel like I'm not going to charge you. I know that I have charged, and it's a part of it, but just like where I'm at right now, I'm not charging, only because my consultation to me is just a meet and greet. Like, how you doing? And it's just a typical thing. You don't have to pay for the things you shouldn't have to pay for things that you should get anyways. So for me, in order for me to even take your profile, I have to look at your credit report.
That's a fact.
So either way, this is something that I have to do.
Yeah.
I ain't going to talk to you for 30 minutes though. It might be via text. The consultation is not determined for a Zoom call or a phone call.
So the initial consultation has a lot to do with
I need to know exactly. I need to know what are your goals. I need to give you a proper credit analysis.
So you can create an actual game.
So that I can do the proper strategy to get you what you want.
All right, now, so something outside of that. Let's say, for example, a client comes to you and they say, Chloe, can you teach me how to build my own business? What are you talking about?
Yeah, and yes, I offer that, and it's worth every dollar, because this business, what I came up with the whole entire program. Within my program, not only will you learn about credit repair, but more so than anything, I'm teaching you how to be a boss. Meaning, I already have the business in a package for you. I'm just teaching you how to run the business. I already have the employees needed. I already have the system in place. All you're doing is paying the fee and getting started. You can make money the next day. I charge people $1,000 for credit repair. You made your money back.
So the clients that don't want necessarily to start up their own credit repair business, but they do want the information. Do you have a community?
I don't, but you do.
I know.
I think that I'm not. Listen, I'm somebody that I'm gonna take you to the end of the rainbow, to the gold. But you're the best person for people to be in the process. I think you trained me. You took your time with me, and you believed and you seen because I was hungry.
Yeah.
If somebody wants that, I'm not the person for that
Sure.
right now. Right now, I got the plan, I got the sauce, pay me, you're going to be in your bag.
On that
but
note,
if they want to get in the community,
Sure.
they need to get into yours.
Mogul Maker Academy.
Yeah,
Listen,
you made a
Skool
mogul.
Community.
I'm on my way. I'm literally
Mogul
a
Maker
testimony of what you have done.
Thank you.
I mean, from mindset to... I call you for everything. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to do that because the community is online on the school platform. But I will say that, remember we talked and we said, and I said, you know what? And you said, Chloe, I think that we talked about the qualities, and I can say I don't try to run on the bandwagons of things, and I don't think you're running. I think that you're smarter than most of these niggas out here. But I will say that if people really want to learn something, they need to get in your community because you taught me everything that I do know.
Man, that's
you helped me build my business. You were the 911 call if somebody was on Family Feud because you were in prison. And a lot of people that were in prison think that they smart, but they still came out very dumb. Yeah. But you didn't.
5 years in the Feds.
5 years in the Feds, and you made great relationships. And then on top of that, your mindset, you were already smart, but you really dove into that. And you're a great teacher. And I feel you are my teacher. So people need to go, if they want to be taught, they need to come to you. If people want to get the bag, come to me. Not saying you can't get them there. I'm teaching 2 kids. You know,
so let me ask you about the people that are like, yo, I rock with Chloe. I see what she on. Talk to me a little bit more about how the referrals work. How do they sign up with you?
So basically, just let me know what's up. I'll put your information in. I'll send you a link. Every client that you input into your, you just send the link to, they'll put their information in my system, in my CRM. It'll see that it's under you and you get paid.
Let me ask then, if that's the case, how important is word of mouth to the business?
Word of mouth is everything. Word of mouth is everything because I swear I used to get talked about bad so much. So that word of mouth put a dirty taste in my mouth. Everybody has something bad to say about me because they would, for whatever reason. But I would say now my word of mouth is she different, but she really get it done.
Yeah. She got business.
You know, so I love that. But that's when I learned that at the end of the day, all marketing is good. Bad and good, whatever. Everybody's gonna have something to say.
All press is good press.
All press is good press. But I feel like I'm not here I don't care what you think about me.
Sure.
I don't worry about that. That's not even up for discussion. If somebody tries to speak to me about that, I will probably get off the phone. But what I do care about is your credit report. And what I do care about is getting you approved for what you want.
Let's talk about something else that you care about. Your kids. Your family.
I love my babies.
Right. How does a mother of 2? You have 2 amazing kids. London and Winter.
Well, both my kids have bank accounts. Both my kids have LLCs.
Okay, so
both my kids, if I were to die today, they will have $1 million. So at the end of the day, I think that people need to prepare themselves as if you won't be here tomorrow.
How do you balance the workload, the work family life?
You have to delegate.
So it is delegation.
Delegation is the answer to being able to, nothing is too much. Exactly. If you are so like, I'm going to do everything, you're really not a boss. You're just somebody in your own way.
Okay. So what challenges have you faced in this entrepreneur journey, especially when you're juggling the 2? Give me one specific challenge that, if it's with kids' fathers, if it's with old partners, if it's some of those challenges in order to get to this point, because you're advanced in the game, just in the game of entrepreneurship. And I'm saying you're advanced.
Well, I've been an entrepreneur since I was, 18 years old. Even though I was in college, I was always selling something. It's funny. Let me tell you what. Let me just give y'all a quick answer. My son and I were driving in the car. He see a homeless man. He gonna say, I don't know why he asking him for money. I said, why you say that? He goes, because he could just sell something. And I was like, I'm doing a good job.
Oh, that's a bar. Yeah. Your son said he could just sell something.
He's 6 years old. He said, I don't know why he out asking for money when he could just sell something. That boy said, because I know I'm about to sell me some pizza today.
Amazing. Future plans. And let me stop you real quick. But you and I personally have talked about a lot of your goals and where you want to take things. Because I think you said you're not passionate about credit repair, but
I'm passionate about what credit repair can do.
Yeah, about helping.
So my passion is people.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know what it's like. But I know what it's like for people to look at my life and be like, I wish that I had that. And a lot of people turned left on me because of envy.
Sure.
So what I want to do is give back into the community so people don't have to have that enviness in them if they learn that they could do all these things on their own. So I started a nonprofit called Legacy Wealth Foundation. My nonprofit just got approved with a bid with Fresno Unified to teach my program in the school system.
Nice.
Teaching the kids what we had to learn when we got older. So in my nonprofit, these kids will get an LLC, they'll get a bank account, they'll get a business wardrobe, they'll get a headshot.
What age are these kids?
They're anywhere between 15 and 18 years old.
Okay, nice.
So with this nonprofit,
Financial literacy program.
Financial literacy program. But not just that, it is financial literacy, but it's somebody I want to give these kids. I'm like that fun auntie. You know what I mean? Like, even though I'm going to be teaching them, I want them to know that it's okay if you take your life serious and you want to do all these things, because it's so uncomfortable when you become smarter than your elders, right? So if they're going home like, Mom, did you know you could do this, you could do that? You can't do that shit. They can be like, but you know, so that might mess them up. So my point is that when you teach kids who are going into an environment, the whole point of my nonprofit is to do what nobody did for us. Now, I was given this information because my dad always taught me about things. My dad
Shout out to your pops.
He's that guy. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that don't know about financial literacy. So with these kids, you could teach a kid about financial literacy, but how do you make them comfortable with the knowledge? So that's what the nonprofit is. Not only am I going to teach you about it, I'm going to help you be confident in it so that maybe you don't even share what you know.
So you don't just talk the talk. You
walk it. Wait till you have that bank account. Wait till you do have that business and you show your mom how you got funding when you just graduated from college and now you got 10, 15 brands.
And that's crazy because my next question was going to be about advice for aspiring entrepreneurs, but clearly you're already setting up the youth in the city of Fresno. You're already setting them up.
But I can do this in any city. So anybody that sees this, any high school, if you guys would like, I'm established, the paperwork is good, I have the insurance, everything. So I do want to do this nationwide because I feel like obviously having my system in a team, this is something that I could do everywhere. I feel like financial literacy saved my life. It saved me from being with the wrong man. It saved me from settling. It saved me from dealing with friendships. It saved me from thinking that I couldn't do because I can do.
That's powerful. So personal motivation that has driven you to this point. And I'm gonna kind of end with this. You've discussed a lot of things, and honestly, you've kind of been, I think like a lot of us, you've had your ups, your downs. What is that spark that keeps you waking up doing this every day? Because this shit ain't easy.
You know, I've been in the industry doing different things my whole life. I've never been somebody who wasn't
real
doing
serial
anything.
entrepreneur.
Yeah, I'm a real serial entrepreneur. But what I can say is, and I know this is going to be conflicting, don't rely on your kids, your parents, your family members, or anything outside of you. Because at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, you make sure you have a relationship with God. And my relationship with God kept me going because people come for me because my light is bright and I'm anointed. But I will tell you is that my days, I got 3 days to cry and all the other days to get up.
Let's try to wrap this up with this. Someone wants to come to Chloe Credit Sweepers and they want to do a strategic partnership. They want to align themselves with your brand. If it's a bank, if it's a school, if it's a separate company, or whatever the case may be. What are some of the ideas, like for example, real estate agents or lending services? How can you impact their business also when it comes to you being a strategic partner?
Well, everybody needs me because I'm the one that's going to prepare your clients for the sale, right? Isn't that what they want at the end of the day? Real estate agent wants to sell a house. You can't sell a house to a client that doesn't get approved. Let's just see. Banking, people want to get funding because they get their percentage. Can't get your percentage unless you get them approved. You guys should be looking for me, but I'll come see you too.
So it benefits the both of you, without a doubt.
And I think that, again, the power in anything is understanding the roles. If people would understand that your light doesn't shine any less because I do right by my role. Because I'm going to do right by my role.
That's right.
But did you fumble when it was time for you to pick up the bag?
That's right.
But yeah, so I feel like everybody.
So there's a great alignment with you when it comes to partnering with
I'm a great team player. Okay. And it's never me. It's always anybody else why it goes left.
So again, I want to thank my guest, Chloe Sologan, aka High-End Cloe, for allowing us to do this interview, and the Credit Sweepers team. If you guys got any type of value out of this, like, share, subscribe, Get this out to everybody you know. If you really want to learn the actual sauce of credit repair, credit building, and funding, you want to join the Mogul Maker community, the Mogul Maker Academy. We have a lot of guests like Chloe, a lot of guests that come onto the show, and other educators that in the financial literacy space that's going to teach you everything you need to know about this financial literacy game. Again, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Salute.